Rev up your engines. People are always looking for a good deal on a pickup truck. This is an 07 Silverado. Guy bought it 3 years ago for $5,000. Still a really good looking truck, even after the 3 years he's had it. And here we go. Made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, by the Hoosiers. Now he bought it with 132,000 miles on it for about $5,500, and he has about 193,000 miles. So he got some use out of it. What you want to check out if you're looking for one. And in this case, you'll see it has a less powerful V6 engine. If you don't need the pulling, it can be okay. You can check right here. You can see it's a 4.3 liter. That's a V6. Now, being a V6, if you're looking at a Silverado, the two weak points are the engine and the transmission. If it was a V8, the engines are a lot stronger. V6s are a little bit weaker. You want to check them out a little before you buy them. See if they're burning oil, leaking oil. Put a scan tool, see if they're misfiring. Just like the V8 engines, the real weak point is the automatic transmission. They eventually wear out. So in this case, after he had it 3 years, he replaced the engine and transmission as they went out. A lot of people say, well, that's an old truck. Why would I want to do that? Look at the overall condition of the truck. It's been taken care of. It's clean. And it's got the nice long bed so you can carry a lot of stuff. I was laughing my rear end off last weekend. I was driving on the road here in Clarksville, and I saw a guy with a short bed pickup. He had to rent a small trailer to carry the wood to his house to do a job. You want a truck? Get one with a long bed. That's what they're for. You want a show truck where you're going to be carrying a saddle for your horse? Fine, get a short bed. But if you want a real truck, get a long bed like this. This truck is definitely worth saving. Now, of course, you can't carry as much and tow as much with the 6-cylinder engine. This thing can still tow 5,000 pounds. You can actually tow a lot more, but it's rated at 5,000 pounds. And you can put a lot of weight in the bed. So it's not like it's a lightweight and it can't do anything. It still can tow a reasonable amount of stuff. They're handy work trucks. Now, if you've got to pull tons of stuff and you're carrying tons of weight, yeah, you really got to get a V8 engine. Now, I paid $5,500. 50,000 miles later, he had to replace the engine and transmission. People say, why would I put money in an old truck like that? That's stupid. Well, this guy isn't stupid. He's smart. He got himself a Jasper engine and a Jasper transmission. There, you can see it says transmission there. An engine over here. Now, the engine was $3,000 and the transmission was $2,000. He's a handy guy, so he put him in himself. That's one advantage you get in the V6 engine. It weighs a lot less than a V8 and it's easier to put in. Because look, the V6 engine, look at all that working space. When you pull the engine out, you got all kinds of space. You don't have to take the whole front end and everything off. There's a lot of working space. And since this is just a rear-wheel drive truck, transmission job isn't that hard. The transmission's just here. It comes off. You don't have to mess with all this front-wheel drive crap because it doesn't have it. And as long as we're under here, you can see the original GM stickers. Look at this baby. Solid. The only thing you see is superficial rust. This frame is still rock solid. That's why an old truck like this is worth fixing. Get some of these smaller modern trucks. They don't even have frames anymore. They're unibody construction. You got a frame for structural rigidity. You can pull a lot, carry a lot. It's not going to bend. It holds up. It can last forever. Even if you get in small wrecks with these things, it's all fixable. You get in a big wreck with a unibody, go buy a truck. Go buy a car too. All the body and frame is all unitized and it gets bent. They just total it and it goes to the junkyard. These body on frame are what you really want in a truck. To show how solid they are, okay, this is the original headlight. You can see the plastic needs buffing out. But let's go to the driver's side. Oh, look, it's real shiny. And you know why? Because he hit a deer with this thing. A big one. The only thing you really had to replace is the plastic headlight. You hit a deer with a modern car that's all plastic, the whole front end of the car might be destroyed. Now, it did also have to have the radiator replaced because they said an antler made it through and stuck a hole in the radiator, but really, the insurance paid for it, and the owner told me one thing.
I took the deer home and ate it, guys.
I said earlier, there's plenty of room back here. Hey, you're probably gonna moose back in that one. Now, maybe you're not gonna put in an engine or a transmission yourself. You're gonna have to pay people to put them in. But since it's so easy to do, if you price around, it's not all that expensive to do. And considering he got Jasper Engines, which is a very good company that rebuilds engines and transmissions, and he's got a 3-year, 100,000 mile warranty on both of them, that's not a bad deal. He got a new truck. The engine and transmissions are the main things that wear out on him. With a solid frame like this and no rust, it can last forever. So let's take it for a spin. Now, this is an old school truck. I like it. No stinking power lock, just manual ones. And look, the young people, they say, what's that? I've never seen one of those. Well, that's a hand crank. That's how we used to open and close windows, and guess what? They last forever. None of this electronic crap. I like these old trucks. The old Chevy emblem is a little bit faded away. You know, they could have done a better job painting it, but that new engine starts right up. And as we drive around, we see it's a typical truck. Of course, it's high up in the air. Now, this is only the V6 engine, but it goes down a road, you know. It's not a burnout special, but this is the really well set up work truck. This particular one, there's no bearing noise. Of course, the tranny sounds great. Been remanufactured by Jasper. And as it's shifting, you can barely even hear or feel it shift. Like I say, it's not a giant racing monster. We'll come to a stop and take off, and you can see when you step on the gas. Sure doesn't throw you in the back like a V8, but it gets you going. You can hear the engine strong, no problem at all. And sure, he had to spend $5,000 after he had it, but I guarantee he's probably going to spend a lot less money on that the next 3 years or even further. Well, to begin with, the engine and transmission, each have 3-year warranties on them, so that's not going to cost him anything. Personally, I've never seen anybody have a Jasper engine that went bad other than drag racing guys that I know, and I mean, they're just putting them to too much torque. This isn't a drag racer. He doesn't do burnout, so you don't know how long this thing's going to last. An old truck that looks like a new truck and thanks to a Jasper engine and Jasper transmission runs like a new truck. I'm not a fan of the late model Chevys, but these old ones, hey, they can last a long time. Just remember, if you're buying a used one, first thing you want to check is the transmission. Maybe the truck's good, but the transmission doesn't work right. Realize you could get a Jasper tranny for $2,000 if you want to put it in yourself, or more like close to $3,000 if you pay somebody else to put it in. So you'd say, oh, well, I like the truck, but the transmission's going out, and that's going to cost me $3,000, so let's knock money off the price of the car and buy it that way. There's nothing wrong with that, but make sure you check out the transmission and also check out the engine if it's really high mileage, especially the 6s. The V8s, they can go a lot longer, but the 6s, pretty much the lifespan. He probably had 150,000 miles with the original transmission and the original engine. But if it was a V8, the engine might have lasted 253. The V6 engines won't last as long. That's just obvious. It's a big truck. The bigger the engine, it's going to wear out slower. Realize that if you're buying one in terms of mileage. But this one, heck, you got 3 years out of it before he had to do anything. It's not all that bad, and then with another $5,000, maybe it'll go another 160,000 miles or so. You can't argue that. Body on frame, solid frame, not rotted. Now, of course, if you live up North Michigan or something, check out that frame. You hit it with a hammer and it goes crunch, crunch, and rust comes off. The frame shot, don't even buy the stupid thing. But if it's solid like this, you know you got a solid basic truck, and you can work from there and save a ton of money buying one used. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Scotty, is a 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse a good car? Well, if it's still running, it would have to be. That old, still going? No, I'm not a Mitsubishi fan, but I had customers that got those with standard transmissions that had 200,000-300,000 miles, and they were still running okay. Now, they are Mitsubishis, weak piston rings, and all those old ones would burn quite a bit of oil because they put cheap piston rings in them. But if say it's a Mitsubishi Eclipse with an automatic transmission, no, it's not that good of a car. I'm sure it couldn't have the original transmission still, because they were garbage and they broke all the time. But the standard transmission ones were okay, though they did burn oil. I had a customer with one. They burn a quart of oil every 75 miles. You could see them smoking down the street in that thing. Serious Sirk says, Scotty, I'm buying a 2014 BMW X5, 120,000 kilometers diesel engine. Is it good for $30,000 Canadian? Okay, cars cost more in Canada. Their money's worth less. So, you know, that's probably what it's going to go for. It is a diesel. They are less problematical. Still, you got to realize their parts cost an awful lot of money. And let me give you a Canadian fact that I know. Something like 90% of the Canadians that have BMWs lease them. They do not buy them. They're smart. They lease them where they don't have to pay for repairs, and they don't own the car. They don't buy them. So you'll be in the minority of Canadians if you buy that. And if it does fall apart, don't say I didn't warn you, but still you only got what, like 70,000 miles, because that was kilometers. It's not that much. You just still have quite a bit of life left in it. MXGO78 says, I got an 06 Chevy Uplander. When I remove the battery terminal and reconnect it, my lights will come back on. The car stays off when I turn the ignition until I take the battery off and put it back on. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't. The battery light was replaced. Take it out, put it on, it starts. you got some kind of electronic failure. Now, Chevy Uplanders are one of the worst vehicles ever made. It could be a zillion things, computers, all kinds of stuff. But a lot of them had failure of the ignition switch, the electrical portion of the switch. Pray replacing the ignition switch, the electrical portion fixes your problem. Sometimes it will. Now, I've worked on some Uplanders that the main computer had to be replaced too. Like I said, it's one of the worst vehicles Chevrolet ever made. They made some pretty bad ones, but those Uplanders, they were one of the worst vehicles they ever made. And with 223,000 miles, you might find that it's pretty much near the end of its lifespan. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.